What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on the channel. Wanted to take a second and share something with you that I came across today that I thought was pretty cool. Also, I'm going to smoke a pipe while I'm sharing this with you, or part of one, because it's probably going to be a pretty short video. But another video idea that I'd had, because I do things that are hands-on and just variety of different stuff, talk about life, different stuff that's going on. But I have started to enjoy a pipe and cigars on the channel a little bit. I recently redid a couple of pipes for my dad and I, and this one here is the one that I had redone, and it looked pretty much just like this corn cob, rough and new, and I kind of aged it a little bit, put copper band on it and different stuff. So you might look for that video coming up. I'll light this pipe, and then I can kind of talk with you about what I came across today that I thought was kind of interesting, or it spoke to me. Also, the tobacco that I have in the pipe is the new limited release from Cornell and Deal. It's called From Beyond. I don't want to put that in my mouth. The tamper, that is. Hopefully it doesn't get too smoky. I don't have any airflow going in the garage. So at church today, the gospel reading was talking about a parable that Christ had given about 10 virgins. Half of them came to see Christ with a lamp that they had brought extra oil for. The other half of them had came to see Christ and only had oil in their lamps. In waiting for him, I'm paraphrasing of course, but in waiting for him, the others became concerned that they were going to run out of oil while waiting to meet Christ. So the other virgins that came to see him, they asked if they could borrow some of their oil, to which they said no, and you need to go back to the town and to a merchant and get more oil and come back. Well, while waiting, or while doing so, Christ came. The 5 that stayed, that were prepared, were able to go in and see him, and the other 5, when they came back, had been turned away. Basically, the end says, the door was locked, and afterwards the other virgins came and said, "Lord, open the door for us." But he said in reply, "I say to you, I do not know you. Therefore," this is the part that, the end of it that kind of spoke to me. "Therefore stay awake, for you know neither the day nor the hour." So in thinking about it, it kind of corresponded with, and that's part of why I was going to share the video, a book that I'm currently in the middle of reading called Wild at Heart. It's by an author, John Eldridge. And there's just been a lot of really neat takes on life, on manhood, on masculinity in this book. And the reading today, and then thinking about that, corresponded with pretty much where I was at in the book, and made me think. And I even had shared it with my wife, that I thought it was kind of a neat similarity between the reading today and where I'm at reading this book. But the section I came across today that what I felt like was corresponding is, he says, "I would love to be like William Wallace, leading the charge with a big sword in my hand, sighed a friend. But I feel like I'm the guy in the back in the 4th row with a hoe." He says, "That's a lie of the enemy, that your place is really insignificant, that you aren't really armed for it anyway. In your life, you are William Wallace. Who else could you be? There is no other man who can replace you in your life in the area you have been called to. If you leave your place in line, it will remain empty. No one else can be who you are meant to be." And so there's another section down here, and I'll share in a second, that really made me kind of stop and think for a second as to what I felt like God's word was today, and in listening to what Christ had to say, that even though those 5 had been prepared to come to see him, they left and came back, but ultimately still were not prepared. The priest had an interesting homily on this, but I won't kind of tagline off of what he had to say about it. But basically, the end of the gospel was what kind of stuck out to me, which is, be ready, for you never know. You don't know what time it is. Hang on, I'm going to go back to it. Of course, I set it down and lost my place. Yeah, therefore stay awake, for you know neither the day nor the hour. I butchered it. But we don't know what tomorrow calls, and who are we being called to be in our lives. And just like this is saying, you know, we are called to be the hero, the leader, the person to stand up for what's right in our life, and to fight for those things that we believe in. The other section that I read down, and it kind of correlated with that, is he says, a warrior is cunning. He knows when to fight and when to run. He can sense a trap and never charges blindly ahead. He knows what weapons to carry and how to use them. Whatever specific terrain you are called to, at home, at work, in the realm of arts or industry or world politics, you will always encounter 3 enemies. The world, the flesh, and the devil. Says they make up a sort of unholy trinity, because they always conspire together. So that, again, that kind of stuck out to me, and I thought was just really interesting to think about how in our lives every day, the struggles that we have and what we're called to do as the men in our families and to lead. But it was just, like I said, interesting food for thought. It's a book I've been in the middle of reading, and I've got some copies that I'm going to give out as gifts at Christmas, so I wanted to read it before I had given it out, so that I could, you know, share my thoughts on it. But that was all I was basically turning the camera on for tonight, nothing more. Just a little food for thought on this Sunday evening, and to kind of spark that thought in you of what is it that we're trying to do every day? Who is it we're being called to be? And to stay vigilant in our faith life, and who we're called to be as parents or sons or daughters, or whatever our role looks like in life. It is nonetheless an important role, and it ultimately, at the end of the day, is, you know, it makes us who we are. So that's all I really wanted to share with you all. I won't drag the video out any longer. I just, like I said, wanted to take a second and kind of turn the camera on and share that. I thought it was kind of neat. So we appreciate you hanging out with us on the channel. We look forward to seeing you on the other videos that I put up or have put up. So if you like this, hit the I always mess this part up. If you like the video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. All those things help us out. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. Have a good day.